Good evening, Vice President-elect, Trustee Lugarta, Shayla, and guests. It's my honor this evening to be giving the oath to Rachel Goodman. Rachel Goodman's family has been in our Daly City, descendants of Jewish people, for the last 50 or 60 years, as well as an immigrant. And when I first met her, just a little bit of background, I haven't even known her that long, but it tells you about community members that are interested and passionate about libraries. She has never missed a meeting with our committee, BPAC, so it'll be good because you'll have continuity as well, and someone that's just as passionate as I know that all of you are, and also Trustee Pacheco, who hopefully will be able to arrive in time. But it's my honor to give her the honorary oath so she can join you at the dais. Okay, with that, raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Rachel Goodman,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well
and that I will well
and faithfully discharge
and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I am about to enter.
which I'm about to enter.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
Now they have quorum. Now they have quorum.
Good job. Great job. That was perfect.
Okay.
And I sent the photos.
Trustee Goodman, please take
I
your
sent,
seat.
I sent the photos in.
Oh, you're sweet.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ma'am. Okay, now that we have a quorum, I'll call the meeting to order with the pledge of allegiance to the flag. All please rise. Thank you. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Let's see. Can we proceed with the roll call, please?
Vice President Lex,
Present.
Trustee Goodman. Present. And Trustee Logarta.
Present.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would entertain a motion to approve tonight's agenda. Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I will second it.
Thank you very much. Been moved and seconded to approve the agenda. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Fine, thank you. And let me just also ask for a motion to approve the minutes from the previous meeting.
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I will second.
Thank you very much. Moved and seconded to approve the minutes of the previous meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Would it be okay with other trustees to slightly amend the agenda to allow the DCPLA presentation to come first? Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, hello, everybody. And first of all, Rachel, welcome. So nice to see you all here. My name is Teresa Perano, and I am a board member of the Daly City Public Library Associates and this year's chair of the St. Patrick's Day Luncheon, which was beautiful. I'd like to thank you all for the opportunity to give you an update and allowing us to support the Daly City Public Libraries through our fundraising, and we're always thrilled to do so, as Chella well knows. So on March 16th, our annual St. Patrick's Day luncheon was held at the Coma Community Center. We welcomed over 100 guests, including various dignitaries, businesses, and many who sponsored our event, as well as many supporters of the DCPLA. Our committee was Susan Brisden Smith, who is the founding executive director for DCPLA. Charles Cannon from Lexis of Ceremony, he was also our guest author speaker. Brian Dossie, who is the city manager of the town of Coma. Adrian Tissier of Bay Relations, who is a former San Mateo County supervisor, and our executive director, Victoria Magbileng, and as well as our board, and I'd like to quickly give you their names: Monica De Vincenzi, Tricia De Vera, Christine Espinola, Sarah Watson, and our library liaison, as you know, Chella Anderson. So we had a raffle and 3 Fund the Need items, as well as a delicious lunch of corned beef and cabbage prepared by Dominic's on the Go. We had soda bread, we had mini cupcakes from Sweet Dreams Bakery in Coma. And the 3 Fund the Need items, which you'll be receiving monies at a future meeting, are Storytime furniture and a rug for the Daly City John Daly branch to replace the current 2007 items. Now, Felicia Leong of Daly City Coma Chamber of Commerce did a great Fund the Need for that item. And then we had program funding for all branches for special events with performers throughout the year. Michael Gangona, who is a past mayor and council person here in Daly City, he's currently the San Mateo County Community College District Board of Trustee. And then high demand ebooks, which I thought was quite interesting, great choice. Our libraries participate in a shared ebook collection, and this funding would assist in cutting the wait time. Many people have to wait weeks for this. I had no idea. And that was presented by Helen Fisicaro, council person of the town of Coma. So I'd like to thank the many sponsors, anybody who's watching, for the support of the for supporting DCPLA. And if you want more information, you can visit our website, and many of this information and more is on our website. So the last thing I'm here is to invite all of you and invite the public to the Daly City Public Library Associates commencement event for 2023-2024 Daly City Youth Poet Laureate. I don't know if any of you have seen any of that. This is actually quite a big deal. I know that I don't want to get offline here, but we will have it on Thursday, April 27th, and I placed invitations. Yes. There will be performances by the finalists and Chloe Chow. She's our current Youth Poet Laureate, followed by San Mateo County Supervisor David Canepa announcing the winner. There will be a cake reception at the conclusion of the event, and we hope everyone can come. We look forward to seeing you. We want to see all of you at this event so that you can be introduced actually to our board if you don't know them, and to speak with our Youth Poet Laureate. I've attended an event, and it's quite moving to hear what they say, and it's an important event because if we listen, there's a reason why they write, right? So we hope everyone will attend, and that's the end of my presentation. And I will be leaving, but I wanted to thank you so much for doing what you do. It's so important. Thank you. And Chella, thank you so much.
Well, we want to thank you and DCPLA for doing what you do. The libraries literally would not be where they are and what they're like today without the support of DCPLA over 10 years and over $100,000, and you've just done a fantastic job. Before you go, I'd like to ask if there are any questions from other trustees or comments.
No questions, but I will piggyback off of what Bill said. Thank you so much for your support, and we work closely together with the community to support our local
Microphone.
libraries. thank you so much for your support, and I know that the synergy is great between DCPLA and the Board of Trustees, and we will continue to support our local libraries because we're all very passionate about it. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and we welcome anybody in the public and anybody who has not already joined DCPLA. Please do, it's very reasonable. I think the minimum is like $20. I mean, what more? And we give all that money back to you. So thank you so much. We thank you, Chella, and I'd like to give a big shout out to Chella. She supports you, but she also supports us, and we really appreciate her supporting us. Thank you very much. Take care, everybody. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Aspect of that support is the flyer for the Poet Laureate event that I picked up today in the library.
Thank you.
So,
Awesome. Woo. Thank you again. Thank
you're
you.
welcome. Thanks, Teresa.
One of the many hats that she wears.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you.
And just as an aside, speaking of support, I know that we enjoy the support of the Daly City City Council, but I appreciate especially Pam's involvement and interest in our activities and our welfare and our staffing and all of the other issues that the professional staff have to deal with and that the trustees are aware of and concerned about. So thank you for your work. Okay, one of the items, actually the first item after the swearing in was the election of officers, which with the permission of the other trustees, I would like to suspend for this meeting, since we don't have all of our trustees present, and put it on the agenda for our next meeting. Would that be okay with you guys?
Yes, I would agree with that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, thank you. Do you need a motion or anything for that, Shayla? Okay, well, it's the sense of the board. Terrific. Okay, we are at the time for presentations, beginning with the director's report, which I always look forward to.
All right. Well, I have a little overview of something that's very exciting, but it's still in the initial phases. And so I hope you don't have any questions. So it's the Ceremony Main Library, as you are familiar. We are very excited to have a capital improvement project that is just kind of getting underway. For anyone who doesn't know, Ceremony Library was built in 1975, and the rumor I heard was it came in under budget. It's a two-story structure, which you wouldn't necessarily, I'll go back a slide, you don't necessarily notice right away that it is a two-story structure because it's on a grade. So the main public areas are on the top, but there is also a second story that's below grade. The main entrance is actually in Gellert Park, and so many people call it the Gellert Library, which is fine, we don't mind. It helps people find us. The upper level is larger, it's over 10,000 square feet, and it's the main stacks, the reading room, we have a public computer lab, we have obviously our service desk. This is our main library, so we have always a librarian doing reference services, and then of course the wonderful people doing circulation. The lower level is 5,200 square feet, and it consists of staff offices, including my own, a receiving area, that's where we get all of our books, so many, very many books, central cataloging and technical processing. So we do have a cataloger, and we have some part-time staff that, they have to do all of the entry of items into the computer system, and then of course the physical processing of those items to make them ready to be checked out. And then we also do some maintenance and repair as well. And then there's also staff workspaces for the main branch library staff and a local history collection that was established by the librarian, the city librarian, who was the city librarian in 1975 when this was built. He was an avid local history buff, Sam Chandler, and he literally wrote the book on Daly City history, so Gateway to the Peninsula. So we have his community, or his history collection down there. And then also, most importantly to me, is the community room, which is, it's our space that is available for community groups to use, and then we also use it for programs. The main library is it's our biggest library. It's open 54 hours a week, and 52.4% of the visits that we get at all 4 of our locations occur at this location, to give you kind of a sense of scale. And 53.4% of the circulation, the checkouts, that is, occurs at that location. And here's some pictures. This is actually taken by, we have some amazing photographers on the rec staff. I feel like they've really made it look beautiful in these photos. But you can see on the top left, there's the computer lab. This library was built before there were public computers. And so it's not set up electrically, and like the telecom system was not initially installed. So a lot of that is kind of as the aftermarket, as they say. On the right top, you'll see our Storytime corner. That's where our story times, early literacy story times. There's a Tuesday morning story time at 10 o'clock. That's for preschool. And then on Wednesday at the same time, we have what we call Baby Bounce, which is early literacy. And it looks simple enough, but we're really focused on building really critical skills for school readiness. And that's Sarah Spence will do our story time in that area. And then when we're not doing story time, you'll find families really enjoying that space. You can note that the furniture there, the cute little toadstools and the log, that is something that was donated with, the funds for it were donated by the Daly City Public Library Associates. And it looks much nicer with that added. And then on the bottom left, you'll see stacks. We have over 100,000 volumes at this location. This is definitely our largest collection. And then also on the bottom right, you'll see that there's some furniture also donated through the Daly City Public Library Associates in kind of a teen area, but it is used by people of all ages. So the scope of this project that I'm about to talk about is, technically speaking, removing and replacing natural gas HVAC, the heating and cooling units that are on the roof of the building. And then there's obviously ducts to bring that air down. And they are at end of life. It's time. So we're excited about that. And then they will also need to kind of address the roof whenever, because those units are very large. So you have to address any, like there's a buildup roof, and they'll probably have to do some re-roofing, which is very welcome, because we did have some leaks during all of the rain that we recently had. And removing and replacing the translucent panels, and I'm gonna go back one, so you can kind of, I'll show this, but you can see the lighted ceiling. And so those are light diffusers, and they are original to the building. And then above them, there is just a sea of T8 light fixtures, the long, skinny fluorescent tubes. And then the smoke detector, or the sprinklers are up above that, and so that'll have to be dropped down so that, for safety reasons. And then installing an ADA compliant elevator. I mentioned earlier that community room, and it's used by all kinds of people. And currently there is no elevator at the location. And so this is something I'm really looking forward to, because I would like that space to be more easily accessed by everybody. And then some additional ADA improvements in that general area, because once you start to see all the other things that need work. So I mentioned the ceiling panels. These are the bane of my existence. So you can see we did experience some rain. And so once the water has come through, it's gonna stain it, and it's just like that until we're able to replace it. We got to the point where enough of them had cracked that we had to start harvesting them from staff areas downstairs, and you can see we have some empty spaces. So it's past time to replace these panels. I'm excited about that. And then I mentioned the accessibility. Here you'll see the stairs, the interior stairs that come down to the community room and staff areas. the hallway, and then on the right side are the exterior stairs that go to the community room. And they're not just, obviously, they're not going to be accessible to anyone who uses a wheelchair or even a walker, but even, anyone else who might not, have the, they might have challenges with mobility. I actually, yesterday, we had a meeting of a book club, and somebody had to be driven around to the side, and we're able to provide access, because that's, of course, we're going to provide access, but it's not convenient and it's not as welcoming as we would like it to be. So adding an elevator is just going to be such a tremendous improvement there. And currently, I said we didn't have an elevator. We have a dumbwaiter. It's kind of fabulously retro. It is, however, also reached the age where if a part needs to be replaced, it has to be like machined, because it's not like you can go to Home Depot and get dumbwaiter parts.
It has to be like approved by like the state too. Like somebody has to.
Oh yeah, we have
'cause
a
we have-
conveyance.
Yeah, we use.
Oh, you
this.
have one too?
We use this system. Yeah.
So it does have a conveyance permit, just like a regular elevator, actually. We don't put the permit inside because no one should see it in there. Although I secretly hope to one day write a bit. And, so that's kind of the basic overview. So where we are with the project is there is money for it, which is the most important part of the project. $2,600,000 that came from ARPA money and the state of California. So shout out to both of those for funding it. And so the city has issued, and when I say the city, this is something that our fabulous people in the engineering and public works engineering have done. They've issued a request for proposals that actually closed today. And so I know that they have scheduled some reviews, and so I will be providing whatever feedback I can on that, and hopefully all the engineers will also be providing their feedback. It's a pretty ambitious project in a building that is occupied and open. So we've not delved into the extent of the impact it's going to have, but there's absolutely going to be some areas that are going to be off, have to be put off limits temporarily, and almost certainly there's probably going to be some closure time. And for us, it's most important is to really minimize that impact, because this, as I said, is the most busy library. So anyway, that was, it's in these early stages. I will definitely be updating you as we go forward. I think these things, they go at their own pace, and we'll have to make sure that when we get all the firms on board and when they're ready to start, we'll get a timeline and be able to update you more. But I am just really, really pleased that this is finally happening. It's a need, definitely. So were there any questions?
Oh, first I want to say I'm sorry I misread the email. Yeah, it said April 19th, and I was like, okay. And then I got the two confused, and then when I got a text, I'm in the middle at Trader Joe's, and I dropped all my groceries and didn't come over here.
Well, thank you for
So,
doing it.
so I'm sorry about that. I misread. That's my fault. So what did I miss?
So
Hi, Rachel.
I was just giving an overview of an upcoming capital improvement project that's for the Ceremony Main Library.
Oh, okay, okay. So what kind of changes? I mean, if you just could recap
So
it
we're
with
gonna
me.
add an elevator
Okay,
and replace the ceiling, the lighting system,
I
and
see.
replace the HVAC on the roof, and then
Uh-huh.
do some more built-up roof stuff.
oh, nice. Nice upgrades. Yeah, okay.
Jayla, when we think about renovating or updating our libraries, is there any discussion about making them more green in terms of energy? I notice we're replacing gas with gas. Installation of solar panels, either on the roofs or maybe on the grounds, or anything like that. Is that part of the discussion for the future?
Well, definitely the lighting, the approach to the lighting is about energy efficiency. I actually don't know if there was any discussion of doing something different for the HVAC because of the infrastructure that's already there. And I do know also that in looking at the elevator, there was some discussion that that's gonna require a pretty substantial upgrade to the power supply to the building. So that could be something that kind of got factored in. I think, I was not part of that initial planning, but I know that it tends to be something that is looked at in terms of efficiency, but I don't think anything like solar panels were considered, because it's not a lot of solar potential in Geller Park.
No. It's always very foggy over there, so.
Are there any other questions or comments from trustees?
Yeah, while you all are going through this renovation, and they're gonna, make things a little bit more, or make things ADA compliant and fix lighting, is there anything, while they're working on it, is there anything, that you all could add to make it more aesthetically pleasing for you, or even, because they're already working on it anyway, or are those funds just carved out for that? I did notice maybe even the exterior, I think, could be updated, right? How does that work? Are you able to?
So the funding is kind of earmarked for very specific projects. And I haven't heard anyone discuss the exterior at all.
Okay.
The general ADA upgrades will hopefully also address, there's some constricted areas that are also kind of just unpleasant to look at. But I don't know. I think with the DCPLA's help, we've been able to replace some of the aging furniture. But major things like the exterior facade, which is very of an era.
Right.
I don't think that's
They're not
likely to
gonna,
be.
it's they're gonna be working on things anyway.
And I did ask
Maybe
that.
they can,
Yeah.
renovate
And
some.
so the blue roof is gonna stay, So it's the part that they're looking to replace is kind of under that, there's that part that goes up. So underneath that is where the HVAC is, and there's a different kind of roof. So the blue roof will stay.
Thank you, Shayla.
I just wanted to address the ADA elevator. I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
Sarah Monte is my sort of backup library because the hours are never quite there, but it's actually when I cannot work at home. I always go there. It's always packed.
Yeah.
And I know that ADA accessibility is big time needed everywhere. So this is a great improvement. And of course, anything that we can do for green energy. I work in the energy sector, so for me, okay, let's replace stuff, but if we can do things to keep things green, obviously solar, a little harder. Not quite as much sun out there, but I think it's all a great idea.
Yeah, I don't remember the year, but it wasn't that long ago when we were actually able to replace the upstairs bathrooms and the front, kind of storefront doors to make those ADA accessible. And it's just
That's a big improvement.
and it's just about making sure that everyone in the community, they are welcome, but I want them to feel welcome, and I want it to be easy and, I don't want anyone to feel like they can't come visit the library, so.
Are there any other questions or comments?
No, not at this time.
Okay. Let's move on then to the trustees' report. Potential collaboration with Chamber of Commerce and DCPLA was mentioned at the last meeting. Trustee Legarda and I were scheduled to meet with the DCPLA rep with Chayla, and due to scheduling conflicts and issues, that meeting was not able to take place between last month's meeting and tonight. So I would like to advance that to we'll do that during agenda meeting, or agenda building, but we'll fast forward that to our next meeting. The next item is Little Free Libraries. This was a suggestion brought to the Board of Trustees from DCPLA and Susan Brissenden Smith. passed out a copy of Susan's proposal at the last meeting and failed to bring one tonight, which would have been helpful, especially with our new trustee member. Chayla, do you recall if we appointed anyone or if we had volunteers that were going to look into the Little Free Libraries and come back with ideas or a report? I didn't see it in the minutes, but maybe I missed it.
I don't think that anyone got officially assigned to a subcommittee on that one. I did want to say that I reached out to all of the department heads just to let them know that this was something you guys were exploring, and to find out if there was any issues that needed to be kept in mind, and I got only positive responses, so.
Okay. Is everyone familiar with the Little Free Library concept?
Yes.
Not really. Could you just give me a small summary of it? I mean,
You were at the last meeting, right?
yeah, forgot.
Okay. Well, basically, it's to create a miniature library that is in a community. It could be at a residence, it could be at a business,
Oh, okay.
it could be in a public space. It requires someone who basically adopts that and takes responsibility for it, not only in terms of constructing the little library structure, which can take many different forms, but it's to shelter books that allow people to come and either leave a book, donate a book to the Little Free Library, or take a book. And there's an ongoing exchange. The person who is sponsoring it cares for the structure, for the books. And there's the option of registering with a national organization and being listed as an official Little Free Library. But having said that, a lot of people have just done it independently. And this suggestion, and I'll recopy Susan's memo to us, or suggestion to me, bring it to the next, actually, I'll ask Chayla to send it out with the minutes in advance so that everyone has a chance to read it before we come to the meeting. And then we can take it up for discussion. And I hope that we can get, two trustees who will look at this and agree to meet, discuss it, the ramifications, the positives, the negatives, the challenges, the SWOTs, and bring it back to our following meeting. Are there any other questions or comments?
Thank you for that.
Shayla, do you have anything to add?
No, I can certainly forward that information. I can also include a link to the organization and a little
super.
additional. They're very popular in my particular neighborhood, and some people become very artistic with it. It's like a little miniature work of architectural wonder, and other people have like a cabinet, very utilitarian. So just figuring out. Obviously this is something we want to support literacy and books. Just figuring out what is logistically possible for us.
All right, super. That's great. That's even more than I had asked for. Thank you very much. Okay, moving on to item 8, Better Money Habits Program for Teens. This was suggested by Trustee Legarda, so I'll let you take it.
Yeah. As many of you, as you all know, I work for Bank of America, and Bank of America has something called the Community Reinvestment Act, where, we are certified to present like financial education within our communities. So some topics are saving and budgeting, credit, home ownership, investing, debt, college funding, and things like that. So what we were thinking, former President Faupua brought up that, we want to get more engaged with our teens within the community. And so I am actually happy to present, right, on behalf of the bank, but also have my fellow trustees join me. It is not something that you all have to be, I checked, you all can definitely join me, because it's basically there's flyers and tools. A lot of the tools are digital now too, that we can present to the community. And if they have questions, of course, that you all, don't feel comfortable asking, you can relay them to me, and I'm happy to answer any questions. I had some printouts, but unfortunately, I wasn't, if I was gonna go home, long drive from the city, then I wasn't gonna make it on time for the meeting, so I will actually table that for the next meeting. But I did want to, if we could get a date on the calendar for when we could do something like this. I believe that we had a meet and greet, right? You sent out,
I did
Sheila,
send out
for May 9th,
A tentative meeting greet.
a tentative meet and greet. I don't think we were scheduling Better Money Habits for that day. It was just kind of like,
I spoke with the youth services librarian, and as far as teens go, I don't know that there is a better or worse day or time necessarily.
right.
Definitely because the meet and greet was at Bayshore, we were trying to
yeah.
find a time
Collaborate,
people would
yeah.
be there anyway. But for the Better Money Habits, we can just find something that works with most people's schedules and
Yeah.
and promote it.
Absolutely. So I think that, so for the 9th, did we want to just go ahead and respond to Sheila's ask for the meet and greet? Is anybody able to make it on the 9th?
Yes.
Yes.
Make it on the
Okay.
ninth.
I can commit to that too.
Oh, fantastic.
And then for Better Money Habits, could we actually move that to sometime in June?
Absolutely.
And what is a day that works well with you all? Like what day would work better?
Oh, for this event here,
Like day of the week.
Day of the week?
I'm pretty much open.
You're pretty open. Okay. What about you, Bill? What days?
Are you talking about something during business hours or
Something
something in the
during
late afternoon or?
I would say after school. So I've done it after school, and we did it at John Daly, and there were teens kind of like around that area. They tend to go to War Memorial and then maybe go there to do their homework, and so we had a pretty good turnout. I would say that during that time, I think it was between, I don't know, like 4 and 6. So I would say a weekday, maybe midweek, between 4 to 6.
Okay, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 4 would be generally okay for
Ideal.
me.
Okay. How about, well, I guess you can check, Sheila, and then get back to us. How about Thursday the 8th, between 4 and 6?
And I'm just thinking in ways to promote this and encourage people to come. Do you serve refreshments or anything like that as part of the meeting, or just hand out flyers?
Ours are, yeah, I could probably get some little keychains or little trinkets and things like that. Shayla, maybe I could turn to you for like refreshments or,
Yeah, I
and
can do
then, yeah, I would provide like budgeting tool, worksheets and things of that nature, handouts.
Sounds good.
But the bank wouldn't be able to provide refreshments.
I don't think I would have a budget for that, yeah.
Yeah, I
It
think
would
the
probably come
bank-
out of my own pocket. Yeah.
It's where the money is, like the,
Yeah.
bank robber said once, why do you rob banks? That's where the money is. So I hate to take any money out of the library, even a small amount, for a good cause, if it could be funded some other way. All right, well, we've got, a tentative date set, and
I'll send out an Outlook invite to hold that date. I do fear that might not be one that works for me, but I'll confirm with our youth services librarian that she could be there.
all right, thank you very much. Any other questions from trustees?
No, Mr. President, no.
All right. Board vacancy. First of all, again, let me thank our council member for appointing a new trustee to the board and filling a vacancy and giving us a much better chance to have a quorum when we meet. And we will hope that the remaining council member who has the appointment available will act on that and perhaps have another swearing in at the next meeting.
Yeah, I'd like to make a comment. Well, Rachel, I'd like to say congratulations.
But let's hold that for the end.
Oh, okay, so my bad.
Okay, so we've had the report from DCPLA. Are there announcements and communications?
I have just upcoming events. I added them to the end of my slide, if that's okay.
Yes, please.
Oh, can't see that.
So,
Oh, I'm glad.
so this actually, the Bayshore one already occurred, and it was actually a good turnout, as I understand. And everyone really enjoyed it. And so on the 20th will be your second chance. We will have anime artist Carlos Nieta at the John Daly Library at 4 p.m. on April 20th.
That's super. I saw that at Westlake Library today.
Oh, nice. Oh, good. Yeah, no, so actually, I should mention, this is actually kind of in conjunction with the Peninsula Libraries Comic Arts Fest, or PLCAF. And this is one of those collaborative programs that's undertaken by librarians from throughout the peninsula. So they hosted a small press expo this past weekend. It was in Burlingame because they had a beautiful facility for it. And then there's some other cooperative stuff that happens, and then each of the libraries usually will try and do something in this vein locally. And this one, I think, this one was Zach Whitley brought in this artist, and I think he did a fabulous job. We also have a spring social coming up. This is going to be out at the Bayshore. It's on a Saturday, and it's just kind of a spring fun festival. We have the East Bay Vivarium bringing all kinds of creepy crawlies. So it's educational.
Nice.
And they've actually worked with us before, and so I'm really excited about that. And then we have ukulele. There's going to be crafts for kids. It's going to be actually in Bayshore Heights Park, right adjacent to the Bayshore Library. And it's a collaboration with the library and recreation, since they are roommates in the Bayshore Community Center. And then this is, I think I mentioned this last time, coming up, National Library Week happens every year. It's special every year. So the City Council will be proclaiming this at their next meeting. Very excited about that. And this year's theme is There's More to the Story. And really, it's all about how libraries have adapted and started to do, so many different things that you might not expect. Obviously, you can check out a book at your library, but you can also check out a hotspot. You can also, check out a
Park pass.
Park pass, yeah, any number of different things. So just kind of highlighting those services, all of our online services, things like that. So if you can tune in, it's going to be at the top of the city council meeting. And I know Trustee Pacheco has said that he will accept the proclamation. This was National Poetry Month, obviously. And so we have only one upcoming item left in our series, but it's one of the best ones. It's the open mic night. So this will be Wednesday, April 26th, 6 p.m., John Daly. The culmination of this series of poetry programs. It's a venture with Dragonfly Community Arts. They've been amazing in bringing this to the community and in partnering with us on it. And then, as Teresa Proano mentioned, we have the commencement event, the announcement of our new Youth Poet Laureate. So I know our current Poet Laureate has really done pretty amazing things, and I'm excited to see who comes up behind her. It's always super impressive. It's going to be right here in this very room on the 27th. There's a program from 6:30 to 7, and then there's going to be a reception to celebrate. This one's not actually till next month, but I thought I'd give you a sneak peek. Earthcapades. So this is kind of in conjunction with Earth Day. We were able to get Earthcapades to come out for 4 different programs, one in each of our library locations. So they do educational yet fun things, mainly for younger kids. And that was that. That's all our upcoming things as of this moment.
Looks exciting.
Super.
Lots going on.
Okay, thank you very much. And just speaking of the diversity of the libraries and the roles it plays, I was at an Earth Day event a couple of weeks ago, and the director of state parks was there. And we happened to exchange cards, business cards, and the card that I carry is my library board of trustees card. And he said, "Oh, do you know about the Parks Pass?" And I said, "Do I?" I said, "It's very popular." And he said, "Oh, I'm so pleased to hear that. We've had great results throughout the state." So,
It was such a vision to, I know this is actually something that I think originated in Marin. And so it's the leadership of the state library and of course the state parks bringing this to our community has been amazing. And then responding to the initial, "This is great, but it's not enough," with more passes. So
Right.
I'm excited to be able to offer more so that it's not a constant scarcity.
well, as it turns out, the director of state parks lives in San Rafael. So I'm not surprised that it's come from Marin.
That might be why.
Okay, any questions on all of these wonderful events that are coming up?
No, they sound exciting. I look forward to the one this weekend. Yeah, I'll probably be there.
Okay, agenda building for the next meeting. I'd like to carry forward items 6 through 10, since some of those are pending and some are evolving. Is that okay with everyone else? And do you have any other suggestions?
No.
Shayla, do you have any?
Well, we'll also put the election of officers
Ah,
back
yes,
on
thank you
there.
very much. Very important.
I believe May. Yeah, maybe something about our upcoming summer learning program.
Oh, super. Okay. Yes, let's add that, please. And I was remiss. Normally, when a trustee is sworn in, the presiding officer invites the trustee to say a few words, why I'm here, what I want to do, this is me, whatever happens to come to mind. So, Rachel, I'd like to invite you to share your thoughts with us upon becoming a new trustee.
Well, this is very exciting. I love libraries. I love the feel of books. I love being in libraries. It doesn't matter if it's Daly City. It could be spend a lot of time in South City on my weekends. Then I go farther south, and it's like, oh, San Mateo, you're even larger. And San Francisco, oh my God, there's so many. Where can I go? So if anyone saw my house right now, there's a ginormous stack of books that I can't help myself when I go into a library, literally in San Carlos. I want that one. It's kind of heaven for me. So this is a perfect spot. Like Pam mentioned, I've been serving on the Daly City BPAC, the Bicycle Pedestrian Advisory Committee. Walking is very important. I can walk here, which is great. But do I? No, sorry. I should, but the weather's not always permitting. And I've had family in this area forever. So I remember Passovers, plenty of drinking, plenty of sleeping under tables. Not me, other family members. I was way too young. A lot of Hanukkahs spent in Daly City. So it's always been kind of a second home. I grew up in Marin, so I love my parks too. I love that you can get a park pass at the library. I also love that you can get museum passes at the library. To me, that's like even as exciting. So I'm really happy to be here when I'm not reading, which is a lot, but Pam can attest. I'm probably at movie theaters. I love film festivals and concerts, so I'm kind of out and about a lot, but I'm really excited to be here. Little free libraries. Spend way too much time. That's also part of my collection. Like, oh, look, I'm babysitting, walking a dog. There's a little free library. I don't think I can ever read this much, but I'd like to dream. And that's about everything.
Thank you. And Gary, you wanted to make some comments.
Sure. Well, Rachel, welcome. I
Thank you.
remember we had a conversation at 2 years ago at the commissioners' dinner, and you were expressing
Yes.
interest on being on a board like this.
Mm-hmm.
And well, you know the old saying, right? Watch what you ask for, it's going to come true, and yours came true. And I've known you for a couple of years. I think you're a fantastic addition to this board. You're very attentive. You're very open. So good job on Pam on selecting her. You did a great job, and welcome. Okay?
Thank you.
All right.
All right. With that, seeing there are no other members of the public, unless our council member wishes to make some additional comments, this is the moment for public comment, so.
I just want to say that it's always refreshing. We always love our libraries, but each of you, I know, which I'm honored to know, and that your passion is always shown for everywhere you are. No matter where you are in the city, your commitment to the community has always, and that's each of you. And I'm not, I just don't say things, right? So to sit here and listening, and then show how wonderful she is, seeing what we're trying to do with our funding and to make everything better. And the Measure Q funding really took off and really helped our libraries to expand, and hope we can do more in the future. And your support, your leadership, and your ideas. And I was actually I remember when you first got on, Trustee Angela Lagarta. I'm gonna not try to embarrass you, but one of her very first things was in the education and the thing, and I was very honored to attend. How many years ago? I don't remember what it was, but
2018.
yeah, yeah. But it was very, very informative, and to know that your connection to the community and the young people is bar none. Don't want to take up your time, but to me, it's a passion, and I can feel it from all of you, and I think your synergy together will bring nothing but positivity, and more of that is what we need in the world, and you have it. So you'll get one more, and hopefully the next time, and then we'll just keep moving forward with your great ideas, and you know that I support. So it's great to hear all these wonderful ideas and what you want to do in the community. So just know you support it. So very humbled to be here, and congratulations, Rachel. And as Gary mentioned, it's been a long time for her passion. So, and I didn't even know her that well, and she came up and said that. So when people say they always appoint people, I didn't even know her that well, but I just knew she's somebody that was really passionate. And Gary was spot on. Thank you, Trustee Pacheco. Thank you.
Very, very welcome,
Thank you.
council member.
Thank you.
Thank you for your community service and commitment as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So before we close, I'd like to, since we have two new trustees, if you haven't yet, Gary, and I know you haven't had a chance to, talk to Chayla about getting an order of business cards. We
Okay.
use these as a way of leaving a little bit of a trace in the community when we meet people and we talk about libraries and we promote our ideas. There's nothing like being able to hand a business card to a person, because you know what meetings are like. Sometimes you say, oh, I really like that discussion, but what was that person's name? And if they've got a card, then they not only know that, but they know how to get a hold of you.
Yeah, so you know what I've been doing, I have taken my planning commission cards and just cross it out, put library on it. Joke. No.
Okay, well, we've gone through the business for tonight, and we've done a good job. Do I hear a motion for adjournment?
Second.
How about a motion first, before a
sorry.
second?
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you. Ann.
Second.
Thank you. Moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.